What's up, everybody? Rothstein here, Betting Public Sports Show. I'm your beloved host, Fane Rothstein, a.k.a. Michael Snackson, a.k.a. Bay Old Wolf, a.k.a. Malcolm Excellence, a.k.a. Hacksaw Jim Thuggin, a.k.a. Yves St. Croissant, a.k.a. Babe Truth. And today is Monday, March 17th, 2025. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all the, all you kegs and eggs ass motherfuckers about to be drinking all day. Or did you do it yesterday? I've never really sit there and been a St. Patrick's Day kind of drinker like that. That's not really been my thing. I'm not a big drinker. But at any rate, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, leave comments, share the video, share the content, share the channel. All right, because today I'm gonna talk a little shit. Wednesday night we'll have some sports betting action for the Thursday of the college tournament. The first Thursday. I don't even know who the play-in games are yet. I haven't even looked at it, but yeah. But I saw an interesting video this morning. Dr. Umar. As you all know, Dr. Umar, I've always been a fan of the guy. People have been talking shit about him over the years, but, he tried to set up a black school for young black folks up in either, the Wilmington, Delaware area, Philly, all that little area right there. He took donations, gifts. If you know, you know. He took donations and gifts from people. And still hasn't put up the school yet. It's been, years, 10 years or more. But I remain a fan of the guy. I think he tried to bite off more than he could chew. But then you got the crowd that always says that, that says that he just uses, he's a grifter that uses his, his school and his pro-blackness to meet women. I don't know about that. I'm not going to go that far and say that about the guy. But like I said, I remain a fan of him because what he preaches, what he says, it's perfect. It makes sense. Just follow it. Whether you follow him or not, follow it because he's not lying about anything he said. And I just saw a video of him today, this morning. Like, it's like ain't even 9 o'clock here in the Republic of Cincinnati. I just saw a video of him on X, formerly named Twitter, where he was saying that, we need to step to, make a movement on the family court situations. He's tired of seeing people go to court to see their kids and, and still having to pay child support and they're not seeing their kids and shit like that. And I'll tell you right now, I'd be hesitant to possibly give him money. But if he does that, I'd be right there with him. I'll be right there with him because, trust me, that's one of the biggest fallacies and flaws in American society right now, the family court situation. And trust me, if you've never been in family court, you don't. Now, it's very easy for a motherfucker to sit up there and say, well, it's very, just put on condoms and marry the person that you're having kids with, all that shit. Well, we're past that. This is what we need to do. We're past that at this point. Quit talking about shit that, we've already passed that point. We've got to deal with what we're here now. And when you get into family court, nine times out of 10, the dad is the non-custodial parent, meaning that the child lives with the mother, and the guy's fighting for his life in there, not fighting for his life, fighting for the life of his kid's relationship. Like I said, if you know me personally, I guarantee you're out there looking at this video thinking like, yeah, I'm surprised he ain't dead. you're surprised I didn't end it myself. All the hell I went through. You know, I'm gracious. You know, I actually spent a year in the state joint. I'm gracious for that opportunity because if that's that year, 349 days, if that didn't slow me down, yeah, somebody would have got cracked. I trust me, somebody would have gotten cracked. You can look at it as God was protecting me or God was protecting them, but trust me, it was about to go down. You know what I'm saying? And that year let me know that I didn't want to spend life in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just, living like that, always, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? So somebody had an angel protecting them. But I digress, because, that family court shit, Umar talked about some of this shit. They had him and his ex, they had 4 or 5 agreements, 4 or 5 paternity agreements and, or custody agreements, and she followed none of them. And he said he filed for contempt and all this shit, and the family court system did nothing. They'll give them 4 or 5 chances to fuck up before they enact on anything. And he's exactly right. That happened with me. You filing for, contempt and whatnot, and they ain't doing shit. But you're still, during that whole time, you're still required to pay child support. And that's what he said. He's like, talking about some no more money for deadbeat moms. We always talk about deadbeat dads, but he starts talking about deadbeat moms. If you're out here paying child support to see your kid, and you're not getting to see him, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's some fuck ass shit, and these courts do nothing about it. Because it's usually women judges or a new judge who doesn't want to buck the system too much. Not a judge, a new magistrate doesn't want to buck the system. Women magistrates. You got to get pretty deep in the trenches to actually go to court, family court, and see an actual judge. Most of the time you're seeing a magistrate who just has some judicial powers, but they're not the actual judge. You know what I'm saying? They're not elected. They're a county employee. And it's some fuck ass shit. I'm telling you. So with Umar, with the stuff he was saying, talking about marching, to the Congressional Black Caucus and starting with them, and if you're state senator, we're voting you out and whatnot. If you're who doesn't, go with what we're trying to do, it sounds good. Like I said, Umar's a great orator. And it sounds good and convincing. Like I said, I'd be all into it if it's legit. But yeah, it's always some sucker out here like I saw Delano Squires, the guy from he's on Jason Whitlock's show a lot, talking about just marry the one you're with, blah blah blah. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Again, we're past that, B. We're past that point. We got to deal with what we hear it now. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know a guy, he's probably watching this, little Melly Mel. He won custody of his kids from a mother. But if I remember right, there was some issues with the mom. I ain't going to get too specific on it because I don't really remember. I just vaguely remember that. Like, there was something going on with that, with her. So it was kind of easy. But, if she's a upstanding individual, the mom, upstanding individual, goes to work, blah, 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 she can pretty much bully you the way she wants to in that family court system. And you'll be sitting there practicing an alibi, thinking like, well, I might have to crack this motherfucker. Like I said, I'm telling you, if you've never thought of an alibi, practiced it, rehearsed it, thought about it, you wasn't in the trenches, you wasn't deep enough in the trenches. You probably had a good baby mom who's not a narcissist and all that kind of shit. But most of us didn't deal with that. We had a complete asshole that we thought about wiping off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I have no problem saying that on here on YouTube, you know, because one, didn't do it. Two, it's not illegal to think about it. Three, it's only illegal to threaten them with it or actually do it. I you know, that's why it's called a thought. You rationalize it and realize like, oh no, that's too illegal. Can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so shout out to Umar if he's actually going to do it and it's actually legit. And like I said, if it is, I'll be right there 100 with him. Every state pushing up on senators and elected people, state elected peoples and everything, you know, because it, you know, they'll say it's a state issue, states' rights issue or whatever. I don't know if it's a states' rights or if it's a federal, but something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. Very simple. If you make it, you know, if you're harassing the dad for child support and whatnot, if you're getting child support and he's got to fight to see his kids, you don't get that child support. That'll make these bitches calm down. And like I've always said, I've done videos on this before. Matter of fact, you know who should lead the forefront? The imperfect vessel, Ray Caruth. Because no matter what you can say about him and whatever, at the end of the day, all that guy was trying to do was protect his investments, protect his property. And that woman was going to take him through the coals. If you just give a man male abortive rights to say like, hey, this is too toxic. Let me out. I don't want to have to do, you know, go to court for a child, for, you know, to be fighting for a child that I'm not going to be able to see, things like that I got to fight over. Trust me, that'll clear a lot of this shit up. My reason, my theory to why they won't do that is not in the best interest of the child. It's because it's the best interest of the educated white people that'll become state employees. You know, a lot of those lawyers are well, first of all, America's ran by lawyers, but two, a lot of those magistrates, all of the magistrates and whatnot, you know, there's a lot of what do you call that? Educated people unemployed that are lawyers. You make something simple like that a part of the family court, then there's a lot more that are unemployed. Why? Because there's not as much drama in court. They want this drama. And I can go on and on about this. My stomach's growling. So I'm about to go get me something to eat, but I can go on and on about this. We will revisit this some point after I do a little more research on what Umar might have done and could have. Because as you know, he just had a little issue with one of his kids' mothers. And he's saying it's because that this child is acting like that because he wasn't allowed to see her. Because the mother kept him from her. You know, things like that. I'm telling you, man, it's a very deep, personal issue that needs to be addressed in America. We'll see. But let me hop off here. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Leave comments. What do you think? Leave some comments. What do you think? You know anybody that's been through that? I've heard stories already of people committing suicide. I'm not gonna lie, that never really crossed my mind because I'm too ornery to commit suicide. But I've seen that people, committed suicide. One guy was talking about how his brother committed suicide because he wasn't seeing his 4 kids around Thanksgiving and shit, and just, yeah, holidays is when it really hurts. Like, damn. Holidays and summer vacations, all that shit. Like, man, I'm telling you. Don't even get me started. Look, let me hop off of here. Leave comments. Let me know how you think, and we'll get back at you. But until then, everybody be well. Peace.